Good morning. Good morning, everyone. It is so great to be in your presence on this beautiful day, both in our lovely church sanctuary and with any folks with us online today. The period of fasting for those who follow Islamic traditions has ended, and now April brings us Passover, which starts April 12th this year, and Easter, April 20th. Our theme this April is joy. I love that word. And I love honoring it. Such a short word, with the lovely shape of the J, the exclamation of the round O, and the emphasis of the ending Y. The word looks like the feeling it describes. Short, lovely in its simplicity, and deceptive in its power. Let joy sneak into your life whenever you can, and let it show in your face, and feel it in your body whenever you can. Animal companions need to see joy. Children need to see joy. Your friends need to see joy. Your family, your coworkers, the people you pass on the street. The whole earth needs to see joy as it passes through you now and then. Do the times call for action against injustice? Yes, they do. But bring some joy to the many committee meetings that we will need for action. Let it come with you if you can, even for a short minute. If joy peeks out against all the odds, let it in. This is also our stewardship time of year. I know I come to church for many reasons, likely you do too. Sharing joys here along with our sadnesses, together as a diverse, multi-generational congregation, together in beautiful song, prayer, and shared worship, together in commitment. This is an essential part of my life. And because it is essential, and because it does give me so much, I give of my time, and I give of what financial resources I can every year. Giving to this church has given me back more than I could ever express. We are imperfect, we are sad, we are conflicted, we are joyful, we are goofy, and we are a work in progress. Come, let us worship together.
Good morning. So good to see all of you here this morning and joining us online, and it was good to see so many of you in the streets yesterday, downtown and in Culver City. Thank you for showing up in body, or I know many more of you were with us in spirit as well, and we are grateful. Welcome to our annual service launching our stewardship campaign. This is the moment to ensure our congregation is well-resourced to rise to meet the barrage of challenges in our wider world. Today, I will be speaking about diversity, equity, and inclusion as fundamental expressions of our Unitarian Universalist faith, religious principles, and values. And as Chela acknowledged, we are also welcoming our new monthly congregational theme of joy for April. I'm the Reverend Jeremiah Lal Shabazz Calendé, and I'm joined on the chancel this morning by our worship chair, Chela, our director of multi-generational religious education, Jessica, our director of music, Sonder, our choral section leaders, Keon, Talia, Olivia, and Eric, Ryan on the piano, and our extraordinary church choir. Let's not also forget our ushers and greeters, our membership folks, our church sextons, and Aubrey and Mia, all working to create the friendly and warm and accessible environment we enjoy each week. Let's give them all a round of applause. UUSM is a contemporary congregation with roots deep in the centuries-old traditions of Unitarian Universalism. We are an open and affirming congregation celebrating LGBTIAQ+ members and friends, working for justice for BIPOC communities, towards full inclusion for those living with disabilities, as well as protecting our precious planet home and all of its inhabitants. We draw upon sacred, secular, and scientific sources in our liberal tradition, and we welcome spiritual beliefs from all of the world's religions and from humanistic, atheistic, and agnostic wisdom too. If this is your first time joining us or you're still new to our congregation, we bid you a special welcome and hope you'll take some time to meet with our membership folks at our visitors table out in the courtyard after the service. Grab a cup of coffee and some snacks and join us for our coffee hour, and maybe check out our online resources, including our website and our weekly e-newsletter that comes out on Thursday, our announcements. Now, as we begin, we would like to acknowledge that we gather upon the sacred lands, near the life-giving waters, and beneath the beautiful sky of indigenous people. This is the traditional home of the Tongva, Gabrielino, Keys, Fernandino, Tatvaviam, and Chumash tribes. We remember the painful histories of these lands and continue our commitments to justice and sovereignty for indigenous people. I light our flaming chalice this morning with "The Spark of Love" by Anastasia Baroche. The spark of love resides in us all. We are free to act from it or not. If we choose love, how will love shape what we do? If we choose love, how will it improve our actions? If we choose love, how will I treat those around me? If I choose love, will I find it when life gets hard? If I choose love, will you also choose love? Love begets love, and it is love that lights our chalice. Now let us rise in body or spirit and sing our opening hymn, "We Shall Not Be Moved," and then please remain standing for our covenant and hymn of praise.
Love is the doctrine of this church, the quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humankind in fellowship. Thus do we covenant with each other. El amor es la enseñanza de esta iglesia. Buscar la verdad es su sacramento y el servicio es la oración. Vivir juntos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en la libertad, servir a la humanidad en comunión. Así es como convenimos unos a otros.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Tenhave Place, and I'm the Director of Multi-Generational Religious Education here. And now is the time when I get help from my kiddos in the corner and maybe some of the grown-ups over there. If Bev and Shauna could give everybody a hand. We have some grocery bags hidden back there in the corner. And if you have brought donations for the West Side Food Bank today, please raise your hand. And one of our kids or helpers will come and get those from you and bring to our donation basket up front. Okay, so we found our bags back there. Yeah. Okay. I love hearing that song in general. Makes me feel strong. I hope it has the same effect on all of us here. And I love getting to hear it sung in Spanish. Thank you, Theodore. In Los Angeles, we're in a place that has an amazing, amazing history of Latino and Chicano activism that I would really encourage you to read up on if you haven't. Everything that followed the Zoot Suit riots here in LA back in the day, just the growing awareness of sort of Chicano identity and how that helped people stand up for themselves in their community, and which continues today in all of our social justice movements happening here in LA. Good job. Thank you, Calvin. So as we're done bringing up our donations for the West Side Food Bank, thank you very much. All the kiddos can come up and meet me on the steps, and we'll have our time for all ages. Oh, nice. Thank you. Welcome, friends. How are you doing today, Eloise? It's good to see you. Hi, Sebastian. Hi, Quinn. Bring all of our friends over here. It's great to see everybody. Okay, so today, I can scooch over and make some room for everybody. There you go. Good job. All right, I'll share our space together. So today, some of the words that were spoken up front were diversity, equity, and inclusion. And in our church, I think that's something we practice all the time, right? Which just means being inclusive of absolutely everyone and treating them fairly, right? Having equity, that's one of the values that we talk about a lot. And one of the particular people that's been in my mind when I think about treating everyone fairly and welcoming them is my sibling, Joey. I have two siblings, my youngest sister, Ashley, and my middle sibling, Joey. They live back in Arizona, where I'm from. What's that? Yeah, we'll do that in a little bit. But so my sibling, Joey, is non-binary and uses he/they pronouns. Either one is good with them. And if you don't know what that means, so binary, that just means one of two choices, right? And today we have a story called, Are You a Boy or Are You a Girl, right? So there's two choices, boy and girl. And boy or girl fits really good for lots of people. Girl fits really good for me. But my sibling Joey and the character in our story, whose name is Tiny, which is a pretty cool name, they feel somewhere in between boy and girl, or maybe they feel like neither boy nor girl. And there's lots of people who feel like that, and we want to make sure that they're also included and celebrated in our community. Because when people don't understand you, sometimes they can be mean when they don't take the time to understand. How does it feel when people are unkind to you? Calvin?
I think, can you hold it, please? I think, like Jose, if it be mean, hold on. If it be mean to someone like my dad or my mom back there for there, and I think if I be mean to my parents, I might go to big time out or some stuff. And yeah, if it be rude, like you said, if it be mean, someone would tell on you.
Yeah, good answer. And that's a good reminder that parents are people too. We have to be kind to our parents. But I think any of us who may have experienced people being unkind to us, I hope it'll help us want to show kindness to others. So let's look at this story and see what happens to our character, Tiny, when people take the time to understand them and when they don't. And so this person here right in the middle says, "My name is Tiny, and this is my family. We have just moved to a new town because Dad has a job as a bus driver." Who's ever gone on the bus before? Yeah, me too. Pretty good job. "We have a beautiful new house, and I'll be going to a new school. This is my bedroom in our new house. Dad has built me a special bed that looks like a castle. Check out Tiny's room because it is so cool. I wish I had it. It's so big that it can keep all my toys underneath and still have space to play with my little sister Fiona." So they have a really cool bed with like a slide and a castle. "Next to my bed are my fancy dress and toy boxes. Dressing up is my favorite thing to do." I love dressing up too. Halloween is like my favorite holiday. "Fiona and I love to pretend we are animals or doctors or even to host our own talent show. Oh, come join us, Theo." "Tiny," asked Fiona, "are you a boy or are you a girl today?" "Mom lets us dress up whenever we want." So you got a baby dressed up as a lion there. Rawr. "Mom and I are getting my bag and clothes ready for the first day at school. I hope I make some friends." "Tiny, look, I've washed your favorite top for school tomorrow," Mom says. "The school is much bigger than my last one, but the teacher's very friendly and shows me where to sit. The teacher tells the whole class, 'It's Tiny's first day here, so please be nice.'" Have you guys ever been a little bit nervous on the first day of school? I know I have, when you don't really know anyone yet. Let's see how it goes for Tiny. A boy shouts, "Tiny, what a silly name. I can't tell if it's a boy or a girl." That's not very nice. My new teacher says, "Buster, that's rude. Why does it matter if they are a boy or a girl?" This morning is special because some firefighters are coming in to speak to us about fire safety. Ooh, that'd be a cool lesson at school. Girls can't be firefighters, Mia says. But look, there's a lady driving the fire engine. So I guess girls can be firefighters. Later on, we play football, my favorite. Buster, oh yeah, Theo's favorite too. Yeah, he's right. This is what we would call a soccer ball. So I think this book was written in the UK where they call it football. Yeah. Okay, that's okay. You got to see the fire truck too. So we got a fire truck and a soccer ball. Some very exciting stuff for toddlers. Mia says, "I don't think it matters who plays football as long as we are all having fun." Back in class, I draw a picture of Mia and Charlie for the art school, for the school art show. That's something else we can all do. We can all be good at art. Buster spills my paint and laughs. Tiny is not a he. Tiny is not a she. Tiny is an it. That's not very nice. It is like what we call objects, not really what we call people. Did you have a thought, Sebastian?
Buster was like the only one who was not being kind to Tiny.
Yeah, and I wonder if sometimes people are unkind when they have hurt in their own hearts. And so that can be. Do you have a thought too?
I think what's your name again?
Buster is
No,
me,
Jessica. I think Jessica is good because if this person, if this, because the water and a man, even though is that a girl or boy? Yeah, that's a boy. Is that a girl? That's a teacher. And that's a teacher learning to please stop being mean, and even this it says sorry, says brother, it's okay. Reply.
Yeah, thank you for reading that next part. And I'm so glad, you're right. If I saw somebody being mean, I would say something about it like this teacher does. Yeah. And so the teacher asked Buster to apologize, as Calvin read. Thank you for reading that, Calvin. So let's see what happens next. Tiny says, what does it mean to be a boy or a girl? I like eating cakes, playing football, dressing up, and watching the stars. Oh, me too, says Buster. See, somebody helping Buster to understand a little bit. After school, Charlie and Mia come over to my house to play with me and my new neighbor, Alfie. New friends all playing together. We play in my bedroom pretending to be wild creatures.
Just about an alligator.
Yeah, someone dressed as an alligator. What other animals do you see?
I'm a shark.
A shark, yeah. Yeah, and we see one of our, Sebastian says one of our friends has a disability, he uses a wheelchair. Yeah. As we are tidying up to get ready for dinner, Alfie asks, Tiny, are you a boy or are you a girl? And Tiny answered, I am me. And that's really all that matters, right? I think so. And so when we go back, today we're going to have a really fun lesson. We're learning about joy and we're learning about silliness today. And so as we go back, let's remember that being ourselves and treating others with kindness is the most important thing. And we'll have more time for questions in the cottage, but for now, let's head out, okay?
Let's sing our youth out to their RE classes.
That was great. Oop, yes. Have some announcements this morning, and my first one is, if you have not already, please do silence your cell phones. We love you, but maybe not your ringtones. There is going to be a UU district meeting, UU Association district meeting down in San Diego, I think the 26th. So think about that. It's going to be a joyous celebration, I'm sure, and lots of work to do together as well. We do have a lot of great things going on at the church, a common read on repentance and repair, soul collage, a great class coming up April 12th, building your own theology with the amazing Reverend Kit Consanuri Robbins. That's still happening this April. Dining for Dollars is happening, and there's so many fun ways to give and share yourself with the church community, have fun, raise money for our community endeavors. See the latest newsletter or look for the Dining for Dollar tables out in Forbes Hall for more information. And of course, the Stewardship Drive. This is the moment, is the theme, and this is how we build for a future for us and our community and all that we need. Activities related to stewardship will be happening all month, so think about how you can share of yourself and your time to help our community. Finally, yes?
Quickie, Green Living Fair next Sunday. Bring your potluck vegan meal to share and check out all the tables and the information.
Great, thank you. Yes, definitely Green Living. Yeah, and thanks for all your work on that, Allison. Yes. We're green, yes. And finally, you can bring animal companion food and drop it off at the Green Fair table this month, and it'll help those facing financial hardships who are facing challenges feeding their animal companions. Lots going on after church, of course, should be in your order of service or on the slides up there. More things going on than I have time to announce, but that's a good thing. So it's coming up on time to greet our neighbors, but before doing so, please remember to listen for Ryan's piano cue to return to worship, and we will then follow that with our music for the morning. So let's please take a few moments now to say hello and greet those around you, both familiar and new.
Good morning, everyone. Our music for the morning is a piece called Does the World Say? And this piece affirms the power of friendship and the power of community, and a reminder that others do not get to define who we are.
Does the world say that you're just not enough? Does the world say that you're not in the right spot? When it wants you there but not here, and tells you all the things you are not. I've been there too. It's hard to shut my ears to the noise. Yes, I've been there too.
We enter into this sanctuary to remember that there is a sanctuary within ourselves that is lit by the Spirit of life. And there is a flame that we tend in our time of mindfulness and prayer and meditation. So let us breathe together into that inner light, imagining each breath increasing its glow, filling us with loving kindness. Breathing in, the light grows, and breathing out, we illuminate our common sanctuary with it. Breathing in, the spaciousness expands, and breathing out, we make space for others in our community. Breathing in, we settle into peaceful being. And breathing out, we offer peace to our world. We have a joy, a sorrow, and a joy to share with the community this morning. Lee Vecklin, a longtime UUSM member, wife of Dean Vecklin, a most beloved past president and pillar of the church, died recently in Santa Cruz. Lee moved there from Englewood after Dean died of cancer in 2007. She spent her final years in Santa Cruz near her two sons, Brian and Alan. We hold Lee and all those who knew and loved her in the light of our beloved community this morning. And on a happier note, we don't usually celebrate birthdays in our services unless you're Helen Brown and turning 100. May her memory be a blessing to us all. But this morning is the birthday of someone who celebrates all of our birthdays online, day in and day out, week in and week out. So I thought we might like to acknowledge our congregational president, Eileen McCormick's birthday this morning. Happy birthday, Eileen. Our adapted mindfulness prayer this morning is one inspired by our noble Jewish and Unitarian heritages, a prayer for Canvas Sunday, what they call Stewardship Sunday in some congregations, by Victoria Weinstein. In the spirit of the prophet Amos, the Unitarian minister A. Powell Davies prayed, "Help us to remember, O God, that from those who much has been given, much is expected." Let us join our hearts and spirits in prayerful reflection. To whom much is given, even more is asked. We have been given the bounty of this beautiful day, and we have been given the gift of the worship tradition that draws us together in this house of hope and memory, of learning, of healing, of growing, of serving. We lift up grateful hearts. We have been given the inspiration of our siblings in faith who walk with us the path of the free religious life, who companion us in our joys and our sorrows, and who are ours by some design of fate or necessity to care for and to love, to forgive and to cherish for this time of our lives. We lift up grateful hearts. We have been given minds with which to wonder and to reason. We have been given voices to speak and to sing and to shout against injustice. We have hands to work and to build a better world we would have for ourselves and our children. We are asked to use them all in the service of love and justice. We lift up grateful hearts. We have been given the divine spark as children of the Spirit of life, all whose health and wholeness requires us to tend to the life of the soul. In our rushing and our doing, may we not forget those whose we are and what we truly are. As one great theologian had said, not human beings having a spiritual experience, but spiritual beings having a human experience. We lift up grateful hearts. We ponder this mystery together, glad for one another, blessed by the abundance of our lives, and called to give abundantly of ourselves to it. May it be so. Let us meditate together for a few minutes of silent meditation. Stop imagining the apocalypse. Start imagining the revolution. These prophetic words were etched in chalk on a sidewalk in a picture that is making its rounds on social media. It does seem that we are living in apocalyptic times, and those familiar with this literary genre and sacred texts will know that the meaning of the word apocalypse is to uncover or reveal. It's the lifting of the veils of the illusion so that reality is encountered anew. In Judaism, Christianity, Islam, and Hinduism, its culmination is at the end of time, when all of the deceptions, manipulations, and falsehoods that have misled people are made apparent, and the good is revealed in a transformative way. Now, there's typically a battle between those who wish to keep people ensconced in their illusions and the liberatory powers of the divine. It's a messy and destructive process in these religious traditions that's filled with escalating fears, heightened anxieties, and untold suffering. Not unlike the dysregulation our society is experiencing right now, and that's showing up in our own lives, often in disruptive and harmful ways. It's clear that the powers that be, from governmental leaders to the mass media, want us to be in this chaotic state because it makes people more easily manipulated and compliant, and it's profitable for those at the very top. When we drink of the constant toxicity being poured out by our government leaders and in the news, it is impossible for us to be resilient, creative, joyful, faithful, hopeful, and loving. So let's stop imagining the apocalypse and start imagining the revolution. Now, our leadership teams in the congregation and across our liberal religious movement are studying how anxiety moves through us and how we ground and hold one another collectively in our community through the promises of our covenants and our awareness of the dynamics of power, privilege, and oppression that are always at play. The fact of the matter is our nervous systems are overloaded by the magnitude of the disruptions, attacks, and dangers we're all witnessing in our larger society. As the UUA has noted, when we are living in highly anxious times, we are more prone to exhibiting difficult behaviors. We are afraid, and we can get more reactive and defensive at times. And we can help ourselves and our communities by recognizing these behaviors and implementing strategies to cultivate resilience for individuals and our communities. So if you're witnessing more agitation, emotional instability, reactivity, or defensiveness in yourself or others, that's to be expected. And there's things that we can do to better show up in ways that cultivate caring, empathy, emotional regulation, groundedness, and well-being. We typically have 4 possible evolutionary responses to experiences of perceived threats, stress, anxiety, and trauma. We may, 1, fight or lash out in unusual ways. 2, flight, or we may ghost our loved ones or community. 3, we may freeze or stonewall and become incapable of emotional connection. Or 4, we may fawn or seek to please by acceding to unreasonable demands. Now, I bet most of us could identify ways these 4 responses of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn are showing up collectively in our society. There's a lot of fawning going on, right? And we're probably aware of ways one or more of them are showing up in our own lives and in our community. When we become emotionally dysregulated, we may experience the physiological hyperarousal of fight or flight, or the physiological hypoarousal of freeze or fawn. So, what we want to cultivate, to not be driven by automatic evolutionary responses, but to act with greater freedom and willful intentionality, is equanimity, or a state of being that doesn't veer into those hyper and hypophysiological response states. Now, does anyone have any ideas of how we cultivate what they call the zone of equanimity and resilience that's between these two extreme states? Any ideas? Edna? Meditation. So we can lean into spiritual practices that bring us back to center when we start to get dysregulated, right? Other ideas? Going to nature, going into nature, remembering our place in the interdependent web of all of life and finding some rest and regulation in that connectedness. Some other ideas. Seeking and giving social support, right? Sometimes helping can be something that helps us regulate and or seeking out help, whether that's the support of a friend, a therapist, your minister, a pastoral associate, or another person who might be of help. Give lots of hugs. Amen. Show up at camp and at church. Excellent. And we might want to check, are we getting enough sleep? Are we eating nutritious foods? Are we staying hydrated and taking care of our bodies? Are we leaning as a community into our covenants, those promises that we make to each other to help guide us when we become dysregulated in community? And maybe sometimes forgetful of how we want to show up for those who we care deeply about in our lives. So, when we find ourselves living through what feels like apocalyptic times, our response as religious liberals should be both prophetic and pastoral. It's prophetic in that it is visionary and it pierces the deceptions, manipulations, falsehoods, and all the apocalyptic gloom with clarity, creativity, accountability, and truthfulness. In the prophetic tradition, the prophetesses and the prophets are often speaking out against the dominant forces in their society, which they foresaw leading them into destruction and suffering. They were attentive to their spiritual lives and responded with boldness and courage to the divine guidance they experienced, calling them to prophesy for the good of their communities. Now, of course, if one does nothing but prophesy, it's a good recipe for that emotional dysregulation and eventual burnout. I've encountered countless activists in my many years on the front lines of social, animal, and environmental justice movements who stopped engaging because the problems they were seeking to address became too all-consuming and the work became exhausting and unsustainable. This is where the religious wisdom of our spiritual ancestors becomes so important because it recognized this and learned that we needed to be prophetic, yes, and we needed to be pastoral, caring for the well-being of all, and especially the poor, the marginalized, and those targeted in any given society. In the scriptures of our ancestors, we find imagery both of the mighty divine calling the people to righteousness and condemning evil, and the pastoral presence of a spirit who invites us to lie down in green pastures and leads us beside still waters, refreshing our souls. and reminds us that surely goodness and love will follow us all the days of our lives. Now, it's been my intention to always balance our services with some that offer respite, reflection, care, and refuge, and others that prophesy, impassion, and activate us to courage and action. When we study anxiety responses, equanimity, and practice covenant, we are attending to the pastoral dimensions of our common life. When we organize, educate, rally, march, and protest, we are tending to our prophetic liberal religious responsibilities to our broader society. We must name the white supremacist, cis-heteropatriarchal, classist, ableist, and environmentally desecrating authoritarian and fascist ideologies that are assaulting the aspirations of a diverse, equitable, and inclusive world that are at the foundations of a free, responsible, and democratic society. It's interesting to remember that I've been preaching about this for longer than I've been a minister. And most of the time, many treated such grave warnings as hyperbole, when in reality they rose from my life's experience living in the margins, a good anti-racist and counter-oppressive theological education, and a profoundly bold and loving religious grounding. What we are witnessing today, I'm having a difficult time finding any parallels to in my life experience. And yet many of us foresaw the contradictions inherent in our society leading us to where we are today. As Unitarian Universalists, we cherish diversity to the extent that we name pluralism as one of our foremost UU values. We celebrate that we are all sacred beings, diverse in culture, experience, and theology. We covenant to learn from one another in our free and responsible search for truth and meaning. We embrace our differences and commonalities with love, curiosity, and respect. We need more of this in our world. We go beyond diversity. In believing engagement and respect for diversity enhances our experiences of life. It doesn't diminish them. We've also named equity as another of our principal UU values. We declare that every person is inherently worthy and has the right to flourish with dignity, love, and compassion, and we covenant to use our time, our wisdom, attention, and money, this is Stewardship Sunday, to build and sustain fully accessible and inclusive communities. And as for inclusion, we are Unitarian Universalists, a religious tradition built upon a foundation that believed divine love was so beautifully expansive, so universal that its radiance excluded no one, but was extended to all. Now, the divisive and hate-filled ideologies that were behind slavery, racial segregation, lynchings, and the genocide of indigenous people, denying women their personhood and the right to vote and to make decisions about their own bodies, the demonization of the poor and those living with mental illnesses, and queer people, and the exclusion of those living with disabilities are the same divisive and hate-filled ideologies that are trying to eradicate diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like in every historical period of such evils pervading our common life, they only gain traction through deceptions, manipulations, and falsehoods, and then wither when a resistance is mounted by the enduring love of the human spirit and the light of truth. It seems that the ascendant authoritarianism and fascism in this country is misleading people into a wildly distorted illusion that in our society, all things are equal. And DEI initiatives are the sources of inequality, discrimination, and injustice. The fact of the matter is, the system is rigged. It's always been rigged. And everything we've done to right it as a society, though commendable, is incomplete and lacking. It hasn't been nearly enough to ensure the realization of the dream. We haven't done nearly enough to ensure the realization of the dream of liberty and justice for all. The false notion that DEI is about unqualified people getting jobs for which they are woefully unprepared has nothing to do with DEI initiatives, but apparently has everything to do with presidential appointments. What diversity, equity, and inclusion is actually about, as one online list noted, ramps and sidewalk curb cuts, subtitles and captions, family restrooms, changing stations in men's restrooms, breastfeeding stations, floating paid holidays, pay equity and transparency, parental leave, coming back to a job after birthing a child, not having to accept workplace harassment, work accommodations for a variety of disabilities, flexible work arrangements, size-inclusive chairs and belts in medical facilities, not to mention non-discrimination and hate crimes laws, marriage equality, transgender and non-binary gender identity legal recognition, and all of the other multitude of things we do to ensure access and inclusion for all people as a society, and the attention we give especially to those who have been historically marginalized, oppressed, or erased by the dominant groups and power structures. DEI is our social commitment to fairness and our collective affirmation that every person is worthy and every person is deserving of a life of dignity, meaning, and joy. Now, this morning we are launching our annual Stewardship campaign to support the life of our congregation, and this is a time like no other. From attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion, to people being abducted and disappeared on the streets, gross incompetence metastasizing in our federal government, public health and scientific research being imperiled, and democracy, which was first practiced in our historic congregations, being challenged by authoritarian and fascist ideologies. This is the moment to stir all our prophetic and pastoral power to mount a fierce defense of our values, our rights, our lives, the lives of our siblings, and our beloved communities. This is the moment to ensure we are well-resourced to respond with ingenuity, creativity, and compassion. This is the moment as we prepare for our settled ministry search to demonstrate our financial commitments and dedication to all of our prospective candidates for our ministry. Now, I haven't made any big asks of our community in my time here, but I'm going to make those big financial asks, along with our amazing stewardship team, this morning and in the weeks ahead, to ensure we are all committed to investing in our potential, our bright future, and the bold dreams that we have for our world. If you've been holding back on writing that big check to support the congregation, maybe you just write it once, and maybe that's enough. This is the moment. If you know maybe you could have stretched yourself a little bit further financially, but maybe didn't in other years, this is the year. This is the moment to commit. We need your generosity and the abundance of this community to thrive as a safe haven for those seeking refuge, and as a lighthouse of the liberal spirit. Thank you for your generosity and all the ways that you show up for this community. I love you, we love you, and together we will rise to meet this momentous occasion. Let's make the revolution that is our collective liberation irresistible. May it be so. Amen, and blessed be.
Right on. That's fantastic. And speaking of stewardship, you can pick up packets, I believe, at a table out in Forbes Hall. So look around for those to help you understand your situation and what you might or might not be able to offer, financially, but also we give of our time and ourselves, and that's essential too. Your offering today goes to support the work of multiple groups in the church. And we named so many at the beginning in our welcome, the pastoral care, the greeters, the ushers, the green living team, our animal ministry, and many more. In addition, half of our Sunday offering this month goes to the Rainforest Action Network, a nonprofit organization that fights for people and the planet, taking action against companies and industries driving deforestation and climate change. Honoring the interdependent web of life that we all are a part of is core to our UU principles, and organizations like Rainforest Action Network are an important part of that core principle. We invite you to contribute in whatever way feels right to you. Ways to give are displayed in the slide behind me. All the ways of receiving support are gratefully accepted. Cash or checks can be placed in the offertory bags passed around shortly. Thank you for all that you give, for being here today, for the money that you share through time and care at the church and beyond. The ushers are invited to come forward. Your offering will be gratefully received.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons, is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons.
We who believe in freedom tell
Please rise in body or in spirit for our closing hymn, and really sing this with all your heart. Number 169 in your grade.
Please remember to pick up your stewardship packets and our buttons that we have to wear all month to demonstrate our commitment to our campaign out in the courtyard at our stewardship table. But may you go forth into this day and into this week in peace. May you hold fast to that which is good. May you return to no person evil for evil. But may you strengthen the faint of heart, support the weak, help the afflicted, honor all beings. May you go forth into this day and be blessed. And may you be a blessing. Amen.